Hey everyone, I'm Aliana and welcome to my channel. When I was 18 years old, I joined a 5 days event that took me to 20 companies in the Silicon Valley to learn about tech, digital transformation, and how the Silicon Valley innovates. And the best part is, I was just a freshman back then. I didn't have any experience and I didn't pay a single cent. How did I do it? Here's the story. So in 2017, I started my university life in San Francisco at Minerva University. Now, our university is not like an ordinary university in the sense that we didn't really have a campus. And also, all our courses were online. So in order to engage with the city and also for networking purposes, many of my classmates go to tech events that's happening in the city. And back then in San Francisco, all tech events have some AI presentation, blockchain presentation, followed by a networking session and some free pizza. I also wanted to go, but there were two major drawbacks to me. The first one is that among all my smart friends who can code really well and probably win any hackathon that they participate in, I was the only dumbass that cannot code a single line. Another thing is that I was and still am very not confident about my English language speaking skill. So what I was thinking is that if somebody actually come to me and talk about tech, my English would just switch off and then I will have nothing to talk about and I will just be done with my life. So I thought to myself, can I come up with a strategy or a plan that can help me to get through all sorts of awkwardness when it comes to tech conversation with people already in tech? And I came up with something. This is the strategy that I came up with. It's not really related to tech. I mean, it is tech, but it's not like AI or blockchain or anything, right? So this is my plan. I thought that if somebody actually come to me and ask me, hey, what projects are you working on these days? What do you do? What's your take when it comes to blockchain or AI? I will just slowly take my camera from my back and say that, hi, I'm just here to learn and I'm the photography volunteer. I did that. So the first event that I participated in was a Python gathering for software engineers in the Bay Area, and it was held in Lyft headquarters. I have to say that Lyft headquarters was good. It's nice for me to check it out, but it was so awkward for me to actually seeing everybody else already working in like strong tech companies while I'm just a freshman student with no coding skill. So I was there opening my laptop, awkwardly sitting in a desk and open Code Academy. Somebody eventually came up to me and be like, hey, what projects are you working on? And I'm just like, I am just a photography volunteer. If you want your photo, I can send it to you. And that worked actually so well to every event that I participated in. Now, the bad thing is that I lied a little bit. I wasn't the photography volunteer actually. I was just having my camera. So in order to not feel that bad, I actually sent all my pictures to the organization. And they loved my photos. They think the photos are really clean, good, and the capture of the emotion are really great. And yeah, they just invited me to participate in more and more events. So back then, I was still going to events that don't really like cost anything to participate. I just need to fill in my email, my name. Now you probably will ask, where do I find those cool events, right? Everything is either on Eventbrite or Meetup. I strongly recommend you to check them out. You don't have to do anything to participate in those Silicon Valley events. You just need to listen. So I thought to myself, hey, can I actually use this thing to get me into some more expensive events? And believe it or not, this is what I did. I went to Eventbrite and then I filtered out all the events that cost money in the Bay Area. And then I sort them in a way so that the most expensive one comes first. And then what I did is that I emailed every single organizer of the events and asked them, hey, would you like a photography volunteer for free? Here's my photography volunteer portfolio. I've worked at events holding in Lyft, Yelp, Google, Facebook, etc. And two people get back to me. The first event was the UX Design Summit. It was great because I wanted to become a UX designer, but I didn't know too much about UX back then. And the second one is the most expensive event on Eventbrite at that point. And that is the 5-day Silicon Valley Digital Transformation Summit, something like that. This is what got me to Silicon Valley. So I was there in the event. In the beginning, I was in the corner of each conference room in all different headquarters. I don't want to cause any unnecessary attention, and I had no idea about how to talk with those cool participants who were CEOs around the world. And one day, everyone had lunch together. Again, I didn't know what to say, and I was awkwardly sitting between 3 CEOs. I just felt so small. I felt I can say nothing, and I'm just like trying to put my hand at the right place. I want to show that I have manner. Well, actually, I really don't know where do I start. Do I start with the fork? Do I start with the knife? Do I start with that food or that? I had absolutely no idea until somebody come up to me and say, "Hey, where are you from?" I mean, of course, I said I'm from Beijing, China. And that magical sentence was all it takes to get me out of the awkwardness and start a real life conversation with the CEOs. After I said I'm from Beijing, China, they started to say, "Oh, I have so many Chinese clients. I'm working with this company in China, that company in China. I've been to China at that time, that city, and you guys use WeChat, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, we use WeChat. I can show you how to use WeChat. This is my WeChat." And then we start to talk about things like, "Hey, does this food taste good? Does that taste good? Where have you been before? Have you traveled to there? Have you traveled to that? You're from Berlin? Oh, I've lived in Berlin." And after that, people started to like me. They love my photos and they love talking to me. And then we just interact like ordinary people instead of CEOs versus freshman student. Well, I definitely learned a lot about tech, digital transformation, and Silicon Valley, but here are the 3 major insights that has changed my life. The first insight is that, I used to think that Silicon Valley probably maybe looked like New York or something, so many skyscrapers, smart people, cool people. Not the case. Silicon Valley is more of like a humble village that has a few headquarters here and there. And the second thing that I learned is that I realized that what really brings people together, no matter how smart you are, no matter you're the CEO or the CTO, is the human aspects of things. It's what food do you like, where are you from, where have you been? And I feel like in our current education and work system, these daily and more human aspects of knowledge and experience are so underrated. Instead of teaching people to live and connect, it seems like we've been teaching people how to seem smart and compete. And I just don't think that is the only way to go. And the final insight is that when I was little, I was taught to study hard, work hard, and maybe one day you'll get into a great company and then you don't have to worry about your income anymore. But what I was not taught is that this is not the kind of mindset that brings Silicon Valley together. Instead of just like people coming over the world together to do tech and be smart, I feel like what really brings Silicon Valley together is the willingness to try, even when you think you are not ready. Well, thank you so much for listening to my story. I just want to say that no matter what you want to do, at least give it a try. And don't forget to subscribe. See you next time.